Sabes que debería estar contigo. Sabes que no creo que te hayan gustado. No me importa si lo haces o no. Sabes que you just forgot it all. Sabes que yo haciéndome preguntar mis pensamientos. Sabes que yo pienso mucho y no quiero. Sabes que I don't know you don't know me. Sabes que.
Our first stop was Good Thanks Cafe, a really hip brunch place in the Lower East Side. We started off with the Kimchi Scrambled Egg with avocados, which is a really cool dish. I was really excited to see kimchi being used for an American brunch. We also got the short rib sandwich, which had slow braised short rib with caramelized onion and sambal aioli, which was just enough spicy on a really authentic sesame bun. The short rib was so perfectly cooked, had a perfect combination with the caramelized onions and the spicy aioli, and I really loved the sesame bread, which was crunchy on the outside and really soft on the inside. The scrambled egg was also very unique. The kimchi went really well. The scrambled egg was very fluffy. I think they added lots of cream, and the avocado went super well with it, as well as the arugula salad. The coffee had a nice acidic scent to it, very light-bodied, and was a perfect match. The staff were super friendly. The entire place was so clean. Everything so reasonably priced for New York. The entire place is just an art gallery full of cool modern art pieces. It'd be a really fun brunch place to go for a date. After an amazing brunch, we went to the Supermoon Bakery, also in the Lower East Side, a really hip bakery with the best Cruffin in the city. There was a pretty long line, so we had to wait for a good 10 to 15 minutes. Their specialty is their croissant, which they claim to make in 3 to 4 days using butter that they handpicked from Normandy, France. They also make cookies that were voted the top 5 in New York, and I also saw some eclairs and sandwiches. The place had a really upbeat vibe, the staff were so energetic, and the whole place really represented New York. We were excited to get the Ferrero Rocher Cruffin, which had the Ferrero Rocher chocolate in it. The Cruffin was really delicately made. It was very airy inside and really crunchy on the outside, with Ferrero Rocher chocolate on top, which was pure addiction. Next we came to the Okdonsik pork shoulder soup. This is a Michelin star restaurant from Seoul, Korea. They opened a location here in Manhattan. For those of you who've watched one of my videos on Seoul, I actually visited this place back in my Seoul food review, and this is a pleasant surprise that such an authentic dish is being served in Manhattan. I mean, I would come here every day if I were close by. Inside, they had the same vibe as the location in Seoul. It's a bar top. Everyone's facing the kitchen. It's an open kitchen. It's a really quiet restaurant, so really not a place for you to chit-chat too much. You just come and eat, and your meal will be done in 15 minutes. Their menu consists of the 돼지국밥, which is the thin pork shoulder soup with a clear soup, and some kimchi dumplings. I couldn't tell if the dumplings were handmade. I think they were. They were okay, a little spicy, but something to pair your gukbap with, because the gukbap has a very clear broth, so it might become a little monotonous. That being said, the dumpling skin was pretty soft, and the inside was pretty well mixed and cooked. Okay, so time for the 돼지국밥, which had the exact same visual as the one I ate in Korea. Again, the soup is very clear, which I think is very hard to make from pork, and I really respect that. The pork shoulder is very lean, but very soft. It doesn't smell much. It has a touch of pink. There's a lot of rice, but the rice is very well cooked where you can essentially taste every grain. It's very generously portioned. I think one bowl should be enough for one person without the dumplings. The staff are extremely professional and nice. I think they want to maintain the reputation of a Michelin star restaurant. And I thought overall the taste was really about the same as the one in Korea. The taste isn't gonna blow your mind. It's supposed to have a rather simple but deep taste, but I think it'd be a great lunch menu by myself or if on a cold winter day.
It's like a mystery. Sabes que no has visto lo mejor de mí. Sabes que yo tampoco, you see. Sabes que yo haciéndome preguntar mis pensamientos.
Next I went to the Jongro barbecue in Koreatown, 32nd Street. This place has been open for close to 10 years. I remember going here almost 10 years ago. They are probably one of the top Korean barbecue restaurants in Koreatown that have still survived. They try to keep this really lively 90s Korean bar restaurant vibe. Lots of K-pop music if you're into that. They have a lot of very savory side dish like the pickled onions, the scallion gochujang salad, the egg souffle on a stone pot, and most importantly, they have pretty good meat. They have both beef and pork. I've always gotten the beef there. I used to get the beef sampler, which had some ribeye, some kalbi, some thin beef brisket. Today I got the whole order of ribeye and the unmarinated kalbi. And just to note that they only use USDA prime beef, so you're tasting really the highest quality beef here. So they're really good with the grilling part. There's a dedicated server and they use this stone grill which really conducts the heat well. There's amazing gas power grill underneath, and I think that's the key to grilling beef well in Korean barbecue, where you cause an intense Maillard reaction and kind of crusting of the outer layer. So they start by oiling the grill, make it really shiny. Once the grill is really hot, you grill away. They first grill the beef chunk as a whole. They'll make sure both sides are pretty well crusted. Soon after, they will slice the beef with scissors so that the insides can also be evenly cooked. I think this is one of the key parts of Korean barbecue compared to steak, because you're not using an oven, you're using an open grill. So you need to be able to grill all layers fairly quickly. As the ribeye was being grilled, we ordered the beef brisket doenjang-jjigae, which is the fermented bean soup. Probably the most classic Korean soup, with lots of tofu, zucchini, potatoes, and all the beef fat from the beef brisket. We'll get that amazing Maillard reaction on the outer layer. And he's trying to coat that even with more beef fat. Once both layers are cooked, he's slicing them, and it just needs a couple more seconds on the grill and it's ready to eat. This way you can enjoy the beef in medium to medium rare. At the same time, the egg souffle is all ready. Take a big scoop out of it. It's so fluffy and juicy. Just the right amount of salt. Just an amazing side dish to go with your beef. To enjoy your beef, they have salt, doenjang, bean paste, and soy sauce. I strongly recommend just a simple salt. The doenjang-jjigae was very well cooked, a good amount of beef, very savory, has some garlic scent as well, goes really well with the beef. Next up is the unmarinated kalbi, which is your ribs. This is obviously a lot fattier than ribeye. They've prepared this already sliced. They changed the stone grill to a charcoal grill with a little fake charcoal piece on top of the gas. I guess they want to try to get some charcoal scent onto the meat. So that was nice that they changed the grill up for us. The kalbi is pretty thin, so it takes very little time to grill. All the fat drops onto that charcoal casket and creates an intense fire reaction. So that was really cool. The kalbi was also really good quality. Again, pretty fatty and very soft. I personally like the ribeye much better because of its texture. So that was Jongro barbecue. Overall, I think this is a great place to eat authentic Korean barbecue. It's pretty reasonably priced considering that it's USDA Prime. The only downside, at least for me, is their service is okay. I feel like most of these Ktown restaurants are so commercialized. The servers seem like they're really pressured to get things going and move the customers out. But other than that, a great Korean barbecue restaurant. After an amazing Korean barbecue dinner, which was also a little garlicky, we had a very refreshing dessert at the Morgenstern's Ice Cream in the Lower East. This is a relatively new ice cream shop opened by a New York patisserie, Nicholas Morgenstern. I've been here once before and their flavors are very classic. Very classic. We got the cookies and cream and the vanilla almond roca. I liked how it wasn't crazily sweet. It has a decently dense texture, but not super dense. It had just the amount of creaminess, so it didn't feel too heavy. I strongly recommend that you visit this place. Next morning, I started off with an amazing pastrami sandwich at the Katz. I've had this once before by delivery, but actually never went to the original Deli. I didn't know this place was this huge. I really liked the experience. It was really fun. So at the counter, there are like 10 to 20 cutters waiting for you, and you make your way to your cutter of your choice. I guess this is where you start to have a relationship and you can have your favorite cutter for the future. Anyway, I just approached one of them and he took me to his counter. I initially thought about just the pastrami sandwich. I didn't know they had this amazing selection of other kinds of beef. I saw that they had some beef brisket. I thought this was going to be like a Texas barbecue style, so I ordered a sandwich with half of the brisket and half pastrami. They take the whole huge chunk of the brisket out and slice it right in front of you, and they actually gave me a plate of a sampler with a small piece of what I was gonna get. I had no idea what this was. I guess I just kind of stood there and the guy started asking me, am I scared? Then I realized that this was just a tasting piece, so that made me really feel like a tourist.
For here. But you scared?
Huh?
You scared?
What's that?
You scared? What happened? That's a taste for you.
Oh, taste. Oh, okay.
That's the first time, right?
Oh, thank you.
First time here, right?
Well, I've had the pastrami before. But...
Okay.
Thank you. So first was the brisket shown here. I'm going to be honest, the portion is humongous. Honestly, even this tasting slice might be enough for someone with a small portion. But at any rate, this was followed by the pastrami, which I was really looking forward to. I personally think the pastrami is much better. It's much softer, a little fattier. The beef brisket was pretty well broiled, but was pretty dry. Yeah, I don't think I will probably get that next time. But I guess you can only know when you try it.
Yo la consigo la franja. ¿Tú tienes franja todavía? Sí. ¿Tú tienes? ¿Cuántas tú tienes?
Nice.
¿Cuántas te quedan a ti? Dos. Esa es la que tiene costo.
Póngale en el ensueño, Gerardo.
¿Esta la tiene?
Métale la del ensueño. Que ahí va a comprar visita y no trabaja mucho.
¿Nosotros la tiene? ¿Quién la usa?
Okay, so finally this is a sandwich, half pastrami, half beef brisket. I think this was some kind of a sourdough rye bread, which I love, with their homemade mustard. I didn't know, but you can also make this into a Reuben option with some melted cheese and I think either some coleslaw or sauerkraut, which might be a better option because the meat, while really good, can get a little dry, and so just to add a little bit of a lubricant, if you will. They also give you two different kinds of pickles, which I wasn't really a big fan of. This was Monday morning and surprisingly very empty, and I like that. If you see here, all sorts of different celebrities who stopped by here. I mean, this is an amazing amount of meat sandwiched between two breads, and I do at times like this hardcore meatiness. The taste was really good. The beef were very well seasoned and cooked. But again, the beef brisket was just a touch too dry, a little too stuffy, and I just could not finish the whole thing. So I had to take some of that beef brisket out, which was probably enough portion anyway without it. Otherwise, the pastrami was really good. Yeah, it was a great breakfast for me. Probably can't have it every day, but I will have it definitely once a week if I was close by.
Pienso mucho y no quiero. Sabes que guess I don't know you don't know me. Sabes que I must just like the mystery.
Okay, so the last stop of my 24 hours in New York before going home is the Bleeker Street Pizza near the Greenwich Village. I saw they had 5,000 Google reviews, which was already a good sign. I was a little underwhelmed by the inside though. It was a little old and run down. We tried the Nonna Maria classic pizza, sort of like margherita with basil and garlic, as well as pepperoni and the buffalo chicken. All of them were superb. The perfect balance of crunchy and airy dough. The Nonna Maria sauce was amazing. Let me know if you have any recommendations for pizza in New York, because I'm a real pizza fan. Okay, so that's it for my 24-hour food review in New York. Let me know which ones you liked. Let me know if there's any other places in New York I should stop by next time. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe, and see you next time.